Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. Dan, I haven't turned it on yet. I don't turn the bot on until I'm going to turn it on right now. He's already looking for the commands to mess with the Texas speech. It makes me happy because we put a lot of work into that, and I'm glad that it works well and that you guys are having fun with it. Okay, so anyways, it is the 28th of April. We have FOMC tomorrow. We are up big, man. I have to be honest with you guys. This market, I feel like it is up too much and it makes me nervous. And I know that makes no sense to sell it, but I cannot help but think that it is too high. Let me show you what I mean. Coming to the chart. Profile, yes. So yesterday we had a little bit of a bump overnight, and then in the end a little bit of a move up. 2880 was our volatility target, so they were able to get through that. And then overnight, when I went to sleep, it looked like, hey, maybe we will actually open up tomorrow lower, and then maybe we can come back and get this point of, naked point of control down here. And, looking at where we are from a, what do we say? I guess there's still some resistance above us, but I just feel like we've come back so fast. Anyways, then overnight, this huge move higher. I'm not exactly sure what causing it, but there you go. So ZN here, ZN down modestly, but not a ton. Not a ton. What about oil? Oil continues its drift lower. Well, there was a meaningful pullback to 12, but it's messy over there. That is messy action. Of course, oil is always kind of messy, so maybe it's no big deal. Anyways, what's this? Oh, we gotta just minimize Ninja Trader. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. I do believe we do have something this morning, right? Wholesale inventories expected in about 6 minutes. Previous reading of spot 7%, and the good trades balance a previous reading of negative 59.89 billion. We also get the monthly red book. Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Ooh, that's going to be ugly. And then at 8 my time, 10 o'clock Eastern time, Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index with a previous reading of 2. Which is really bad, right? Isn't that one that's a diffusion index where 50% is basically even? So yeah, that's bad. Okay, I left the window open here. Let me go close that real quick. Hopefully I don't bump into anything here. There we go. Let's check Discord. It's been a little quieter over there, but Well, the treasuries are kind of pressuring the upside, but it's a very, very tight overnight range. And meanwhile, equities taking another little step up there. That's where the hour opened. Open up Ransquawk. Tweet deck here. Ransquawk, new European equity acronym courtesy of GS Granolas. And they have a bunch of symbols there, and then he says, I don't either, don't shoot the messenger. What? Funny acronym. Yeah, there's some pressure. They're moving. There is definitely some activity here in the E-mini this morning. All's quiet in chat, but it's moving. That must mean you're all involved. Secretary Mnuchin is coming up at 8:30 on CNBC. Trump will hold a PPP event at the White House at 3. Okay. Donald Trump 21 minutes ago, we are doing far more and better testing than any other country in the world, and yet the media does nothing but complain, no matter how good of a job is done. The same as with the ventilators. They will never say we are doing a great job. They will only viciously gripe. Of course not. In a crisis, nothing good ever happens in a crisis, Donald. If the news media came out and said, "Oh, hey, crisis averted, everything is fine," then nobody would read the news anymore. There wouldn't be a reason to read the news, right? Because everything is fine. Some more Supreme Court cases. Supreme Court clears the way for insurers to sue in order to collect some $12 billion in Obamacare payments. Ooh, they did that, huh? Coronavirus warnings appeared in more than a dozen classified presidential briefings in January. Well, of course, because this kind of started around January 12th, so that's when we started hearing about it. See, they had a strong move down, and then they kind of bounced, but we don't want to do anything until the news. Not that I'm expecting this to be huge news or anything like that, but, well, hey, we could put something in here like it. Something maybe like that.
Gary Rich says USO ETF is rigging it. Poor Robinhood app users. Suckers.
It seems to me, Gary, that there are too many wieners on the internet with too much bloody money. How else can I put it? This is like, it's like walking into it's in 60 seconds. He walks into the Starbucks and he's like, everybody has a Ferrari. Like, we're supposed to be in the middle of sorry, what do we call these things again? A recession. We're supposed to be in the middle of a recession, and everybody seems to have money. Imagine that. Well, I guess the Federal Reserve is good at its job, but it feels a little unhealthy to me, don't you think? You say that USO is doing well, but they must be doing something funky to be able to be up. I don't know. Okay, so I got some numbers here. Good trades balance. We got negative 64.22 billion versus a previous reading of a negative 59.89 billion. I haven't gotten the wholesale inventories number yet. Wholesale inventories negative 1.0% versus an expected negative 0.4% and a previous reading of a negative 0.7%. Retail inventories month over month, March 0.9. Gary Rich says I posted. Yes, I did see that. I did see that. I know he was saying, watch out, the storage capacity at Cushing is roughly going to run out in the middle of May. It's at 8% full. Yeah, I mean, they're saying pretty much in four weeks. No. He's saying
Harry
don't buy
O'Shea
it.
says, are you saying buy USO?
I assume that he is short USO. That must be why he cares. That dog. I let him out to go to the bathroom. And what does he do to thank me? He whines anyways. New York Fed receives no bids at overnight repo operation. They don't need the repo. Everybody has the money that they need, it seems. I don't know, man. Like, okay, so today we could probably go up to, let's say that we go up another 20 points. 29.20. We could be at 3,000 by the end of the week. And 3,000 is like, I mean, that was a
Gary Rich
price
says the
level.
link to what USO is doing is terrible on their positions in crude.
Oh, okay. So it actually explains why they're moving up and why it's kind of sketchy. Anyways, we had a hard time holding 3,000, right? We went up, then we kind of failed it, and there was that whole trade war thing, and then the trade war thing kind of went through, and we had a big move up from 3,000, and then we pulled back to 3,000 again, and then they pushed up and they went into another new highs, and then the recession came. And now if we're going to be back above 3,000, that says to me that there wasn't actually a recession. That my initial prediction, which I have to be saying looks to be dead wrong, but my initial position was that we will have a decline in first quarter GDP, but that we won't actually have a recession. Now that they shut everything down, I really don't see how that happens. I really do not see how we have positive GDP in the second quarter of this year. And yet the stock market seems to be suggesting that that's what's going to happen. Something's off, right? Well, I should check here. What is the 6E doing? Yes. Oh, okay. The dollar was kind of, around that 99.8 area. And this morning, they got killed and went to 99.44. So again, the move up in equities is accompanied by dollar weakness. This time, much more significant dollar weakness. They must be up because of things that the Europeans are doing, but I don't know I don't see this story. Hmm. 3M up is 5% after their earnings.
Gary Rich says third of 2020 is gonna feel the punch, earnings down 30% at QTR. This rally is a dead cat bounce.
Well, I don't know. I can't really call it a dead cat bounce, though. That's the thing that disturbs me about it. You know what I mean? Like if we had come back to how could I put this? When we were coming back to 26, 23, and then we started moving back down. That is a dead cat bounce. That is like the shorts covering, and that's why we moved up. But then when we bottomed out at 24.30 or so, and we had that big up day
Gary Rich
from
says the MKT is going higher based on countries opening up.
above 2,500 to 2,650. That was a big up day, and I said, okay, that's cool. Maybe that's justified. And now, okay, we came back a little bit, and we were around the 27, 21 area, and I'm saying, oh, I think maybe we should go sideways, and they keep going up. So these past 3 days in particular bother me. I find bothersome. It's up too much. I don't think that they're up on positive earnings and stuff. Well, and look at the way the market is behaving. Like, what is the news story this morning? 3M, right? They're excited about 3M earnings. Well, that was a strong move there. That was actually something that could lead to...
Gary Rich says we had this same pattern in 08. Bear market rally.
Well, that's true. I don't think that the one in 08 was quite as... Well, let's look. Was the rally in 2008 as dramatic? Let's see if I can come back to a 1 week chart. Maybe it'll let me. No. I don't think that that's the same thing.
Gary Rich says I was trading those markets during that time.
So this is when I started trading, right? That's not the same thing, man. Okay, so this was like from 834 to 1,000. So about a 20% pullback. And they just kind of went sideways for months. And then finally this was the Obama thing. Now this whole thing is kind of questionable because there's differing opinions about why this happened. Many people believe that this bit right here happened because of Obama being elected and not because of some people think that the financial crisis had been resolved by here, right? So here's the crisis. Bloom. Little move
Gary
further.
Rich says look on a weekly chart.
Piecing out, right? Okay, now let's come back to hours. Okay. From 2,100 to 2,900. So almost 30%, right? And that's a much steeper pullback than we had in 2008. It's much steeper.
Bot says S 2916.00 is the bottom of the Sunday night gap down open back on March 9th. The Friday close was 2963.75.
Oh, so you're saying that we are at a pretty critical or a fairly significant jump level that there's going to be bound to be some strong resistance at. Move this chart back to the 30-minute thing. I mean, I think that
Gary Rich says Seth, please don't argue my points. I've been doing this longer than you. I've been behind the screens since 1998.
Gary, it doesn't matter if you've been doing it longer. If you say things that are wrong, then you're wrong, and you're wrong. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. This pullback, quantitatively, is stronger than what we saw in 2008. That's all there is to it. This recovery that we're seeing is way stronger than what we saw in 2008. And that's the only point that I'm making. And it's true. So why are you complaining if it's true?
Bot says 2900.00 was the opening print for the month of March.
Gary Rich says, okay, keep it up. You don't know what you are talking about. You don't know what I know, and you don't have experience like me.
Okay, Gary. Yeah, I think that Gary just doesn't like being proven wrong on things. Because if the argument is that what we're seeing now is similar to what we're seeing in 2008, then what we just showed there is that what we're seeing, this rise, is much more dramatic than what we saw in 2008. If there's some other point that you're getting at, then get to the some other point. Because here's the thing. Whether or not,
Gary Rich says, hey, never mind, I am tired of arguing with an IDOT.
You can argue with me all you want, Gary. It's fine. You've earned the right. You've earned the right. I respect you. You put good, useful information in the channel. I respect it. You're probably right that you have more experience than me. I've been watching the market since 2008, but I wasn't actively trading futures in 2008. But here's the thing. Whether or not the amount of experience that one has no impact on the percentage increase that we're seeing right now, right? Like we've the pullback that we have seen as a percentage of the drop is larger. It just is. Okay. So I'm gonna point that out. You can come up with a counter thing, but don't just, when I point out something that's true, don't just come and say, never mind, just drop it. It's okay. All right, then we'll just drop it. And Michaela says, post your audit track record. He actually has. So, well, he hasn't given me like a fully audited track record, but he has shown us stuff to show that he knows what he's talking about. So, I guess the point that I'm getting at is that when I look at the degree of the move that I am seeing here, it's not like 2008, and I am starting to think that we have finally reached the point at which Federal Reserve monetary intervention is creating asset inflation. It's just that I think that we've made a fatal mistake in the way that we interpret inflation, because we've always looked at these measures of inflation like, consumer prices, producer prices, things like that. But I am starting to believe that inflation is local, that it has to do with an imbalance between the supply and demand within a particular market, and it doesn't have to be across the board. So if we push money into the banking system, then what ends up happening is that inflates stocks, and regular people, it doesn't trickle down into regular people. We don't see the inflation there. And so you're going to look at all of the measures of inflation that the Federal Reserve looks at, and they're going to say, oh, there's no inflation. When in reality, stocks are historically high based on PE valuations. So it all just went into stocks. And if that's true, at some point the Federal Reserve would have to acknowledge that, if not this week. And then they would have to say something like, well, we're up too high. Or they might have to say something like, we're coming back too fast and we're going to have to increase interest rates again. Can you imagine if the Federal Reserve had to increase interest rates even a quarter of a point? How much, how much chaos that would cause in the markets? They would throw the biggest fit. And that would just be proof positive that the only reason that we were up was because of Federal Reserve policy. Probably a different situation from what we saw in 2008. because I mean they did bump things up in 2008, but they handled it and they did it well. And what I'm seeing right now is saying that there's an issue with the way they were doing this recovery. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess there was another point there that I wanted to get at, which is that truth can come from anywhere. And if you want to prove something is true, then use logic and numbers to prove that that thing is true. Because the market doesn't care what your experience does. So why should anybody else? And prove it with logic. Now that USO thing, that looks like I'm not so triggered about it as you are, but does look sketchy to me. U.S. Secretary Treasury Mnuchin, SBA to review any loan over $2 million before forgiveness. Oh. It is unfortunate that some companies inappropriately took loans in the Paycheck Protection Plan. Probably not going to mess with it until he's done talking, so.
Harun Qureshi says, do you think we are going down on S today? And to what level? Or if up, what level?
So I can't really give you predictions on levels until the market opens. Then I can maybe give you some estimates, but I don't know which direction it's going to go. I can tell you that it's really hard to sell it here. We are up on all time frames. I mean, for us, a short doesn't make sense on any of my strategies. As uncomfortable as it makes me that we're this high.
Skirtrader says TF is this, keeps pooping on my recommended.
Oh, well, that's awesome that it's popping up on my recommended, but you just leave. We're just a boring stream. It's just some guy that doesn't really know what he's doing, tries to trade the market and fails. It's fun. It's fun, but it's not fun. It's kind of boring sometimes.
Bots says to some
Block
degree we're dealing
by.
with a different set of circumstances than 2008. Additionally, the Fed didn't have the tools in place at the ready like they do now, right or wrong, inflationary or not.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, they did do some QE during the 2008 crisis, but it really was not the way that it is now. And you're right. Monetary policy has changed significantly. Is it inflationary or not? Well, it's not necessarily inflationary because it's countering deflationary pressure, right? But there kind of turns into this question then if it's just countering deflation, then there's always going to be this question of how much is appropriate, right? And if this whole move up really is just from Fed pumping, then that's a problem. That means that it's too much, because 3,000 really is like, you got to admit. You said that 2,900 was the month. Well, something's not right. I like the treasuries are moving up. They've been doing it since that news? Yeah. Since that news, they're moving up. I don't understand. I'm also noticing that the E-mini is a little constrained in its moves.
Bot says 2,900 was the opening print for the month of March.
Okay. Oh, you know what? So another thing, just for you guys getting on Gary Rich, I have to reiterate again. He's been around for a while. I think he's proven himself. I definitely respect him. I'm really glad that he's on the stream. I appreciate him coming in and sharing stuff with us. It was just, I'm kind of pushing him because he was
Bot
getting
says
over
from there
me.
they traded up to 3,137.00 before they fell off the COVID cliff.
Gotcha. I'm kind of pressing him to test the limits of what he's saying, right? Like, you want to prove ideas, then you got to prove them under pressure. And I'm just, so I made a point about the degree of the move. I don't know if my point was even relevant to what he was trying to say, but I feel like that this isn't really comparable to 2008 anymore. 2008 was technically kind of a double dip, and it took them a long time to come out. And this one, they're saying that like maybe we didn't even have a recession, like true, like a real V shape. Well, I guess when you look at the chart, it's not going to look like that, but people will call it a V shape, right? And I don't think that makes sense. I'm kind of with Jeffrey Gunlock. I think that it's too high. Reporting season 2, all the big names this week. That's true. It is a pretty strong up move in the treasuries, guys. Like, we moved up a good 10 ticks. This thing.
Bot says I had a feeling you were going to quote Gunlack.
Gary Rich says the Fed did 4 trill of stimulus back in 08. This time they will do 10 trill.
Wow.
The junk bond, Muni MKTS are getting a bailout or quasi one.
Yeah, well, and everybody is getting bailed out. Yeah, here's the thing with Gunlock is that I've noticed there's a tendency for whoever the bond king is, because before Jeffrey Gunlock, the bond king was Bill Gross. And Bill Gross was unhappy with the way that the Federal Reserve was conducting monetary policy
Bot says a friend
around
of
the
mine sent me
QE2
a link to
area.
his comments on CNBC yesterday.
Yeah, he was saying he didn't like the way that things happened with QE2, and he said that it could lead to inflation or that there'd
Bot
be
says
problems.
I laughed when I read it.
You laughed when you read it, huh? Anyways, Bill Gross ended up being wrong about QE2, and that's why he is no longer the main asset manager at PIMCO, right? Like, I've noticed that there's a tendency when you're the bond king to get it wrong and be dethroned. And so I look at the things that Jeffrey Gunlock have said. He is pretty extreme on the curve compared to me. Like, he's been saying that the Federal Reserve has abandoned its mandate for price stability. That's what he's saying. I don't know where he gets the data to back that up. But then, yesterday...
Bot says he said he was getting short, expecting another test of the lows.
Jeffrey Gunlock had been saying that he was thinking about getting short for a while, but then yesterday he
Baby
straight
says
up
I hear people saying that this one isn't as bad because we did it voluntarily. Does it matter if you shoot yourself in the head? You are still shot in the head.
Right? I just don't...
Bot says or a retest of the lows.
Yeah, he went short the market. He is outright short the market now. I mean, I'm probably losing on that trade a little bit. Saying that we could have a retest of the lows. And like I said, the bond king has a tendency to fall. And when I look at the move, everything tells me that it's moving up. But what I know, like, about a recession and a recovery says to me that there is no way that we can be this high. You know what I mean? So I'm getting really conflicting signals, and all I can do is read the tape. I mean, that's the thing that I'm good at, or that I feel like I'm good at. And the
Gary
thing
Rich
that I'm good
says
at
remember
says
when
long.
Goondlock said 3.5% 10 years and the bond bull MKT was over.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, if here's the thing, if that short doesn't work out, he will not be the Bond King anymore, right? He just made he just made a really big call. And if that call doesn't work out, then the market will forget about him. Probably.
Vincenzo C says your eyes are better than any algorithm.
Well, I don't know about that one, but sometimes I'm good and sometimes I'm not. But that's the thing that I'm specializing in, and that I put my effort towards learning, is reading the tape. Right now, it says to me, you can't get short. I just, especially since, well, I mean, so here's maybe one thing. Let's say we have a pretty bad recession, and there's a lot of businesses that are going to be
Bot says
destroyed.
I replied to my friend's text message by saying he was just saying that so we'd all sell our positions into his bid, rolling on the floor laughing.
Maybe.
Daniel K says there are still a lot of people seeing this as a pullback that will continue short. When no one thinks it's a pullback. When everyone thinks we're uptrending
there you
again,
go.
then it will drop.
There you go. Well, when we had that little slip up to 29.10, I kind of thought, okay, that's something interesting. That's the sort of a thing that can flip back down, and it did. But then, as soon as it happened, then they pushed back through it again. So, like, how can you short that, right?
Gary Rich says the 10 years has a VIX index TYVIX.
Okay. Ten-year Treasury note volatility. It is an index. We'll see where they're at, but the note is moving up. The note is moving up quite aggressively, so, and they're through a resistance area from yesterday as well. You gotta keep an eye on that. Somebody, I don't see this setup every day, and I'm not saying that I can take it or anything like that, but this is something that we do see often. Was the treasuries will make a move up like that, and what they're doing is they're acquiring collateral to go short with, and then they turn around and they sell the E-mini, and those are some of the ugliest moves. I suppose, though, that the treasury could be moving up based off of currencies or something like that. You know, it could be, the Federal Reserve is going to stay easy by all the things. That's probably what it is. Treasuries are up, equities are, everything's up. U.S. Treasury Mnuchin says issue of lost state revenues need to be debated by Congress. Yeah, okay. We should get into that one in a second. But I was going to say, the pain from this, let's call it recession, is going to fall largely on small businesses. There are small businesses that didn't get help, or that aren't going to get help, or that even if they get help aren't going to be able to keep their heads above water. And meanwhile, you have large companies apparently aren't that affected by it, and there's a lot of companies that are actually doing quite well on the S&P 500. So could you have a situation where The stock market will continue to move up because large companies did well, even though the larger economy is still struggling, right? Because the S&P 500 isn't necessarily purely a barometer of the economy as a whole. Is just one kind of signal. So that's one possibility that we should see too, right? So remember, we're probably likely to see correlations break down. We're probably likely to see a lot of correlations break down because different markets are going to be getting completely different pieces of information, and they might not be able to correlate them together. Kumo says, you want to tally up who owes what to whom? Go ahead. It's not even close. Okay, so let's talk about this one because I think I have some insight into this political battle. Okay, so what's happening right now is Kumo wants money for his state because New York has unfunded pension obligations. They're screwed. I mean, they're screwed, and there is like a real chance that like a state has to declare bankruptcy, except for that legally, as I understand it, a state can't declare bankruptcy, which is kind of funny. So he's saying that Congress should bail them out, and Mr. McConnell over in the Senate Leader McConnell, he said no, they should declare bankruptcy. So now Kumo has been going around and saying, like red states take more federal money than they give back, and this sort of a thing. All right. So that's the argument that they're having. So first of all, how much different states give or take from federal money is a little bit more complicated than that. For instance, a lot of that money that those red states are getting are to develop, are for business purposes, and aren't really losses. They aren't net losses to the economy, right? So there's that thing, but here's the larger thing that I would bet on. Okay, doesn't matter if every red state is totally leeching money and only the blue states are giving the money. Okay, like if that's the case, then why would you even need the government to bail you out, right? Because if you're bailing somebody out, you're suggesting that everybody else is going to pay to bail you out for, because it would be so bad if you didn't go through. But if you're the one making all of the money, how does that work? First of all, but then second of all, it doesn't matter because there is literally no way. It is politically untenable. Republican states will not pay for blue states' unfunded pension obligations. They will not do it. There is not a single representative. There's not a single representative in the state, in the Senate. There's not a single representative in the House that is from a Republican state that will do that. End of discussion. They will not do it. What Kumo is asking for is politically impossible.
Kevin Wimmer says rip Jeffrey Goonlock with his S&P short at 2,863.
2863.
But I guess he didn't enter the full position at one price.
Yeah. And you have to wonder how he did it too, right? I mean, did he just sell a bunch of futures or something? Like, I don't know. It's just this weird thing. I don't like it because I agree with this premise.
Boom Baby says short squeeze.
I agree with this premise, and yet I've seen this play out so many times, and my feeling says that he loses. Even though I totally agree with him on the fundamentals of it. It'll be interesting. I mean, the question is like how How long is he willing to hold it? How much pain is he willing to take? If he ends up being right, that makes him trader of the century in my book, man. Oh, we got the
Kevin Wimmer says his net worth is above $2 billion, so he got some money to spend, lol.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he's doing it. It's not his net worth though, right? I think he was doing it in his fund. No? Maybe it was his personal money. I don't know. Home price index was spot 5%. And home price year over year was 3.5 versus an estimated 3.3. That's actually better than expected. Interesting.
Gary Rich says, did you know Goonlock has one of the biggest porn collections?
Oh,
Google it.
Is that a fact, huh? I gotta tell you, I don't know. The whole thing is weird to me. Like, the thing that boggles my mind about it is obviously he knows what he's talking about.
Kevin Wimmer says, so do you think guys like him or his funds push the market with market orders or just sit there with limits and hope other guys move the markets?
I think they do a little bit of both. I think that you accumulate a couple of contracts and then you pull some bids and maybe use a few market orders to push it. But in general, you want to avoid using the market orders as much as possible. Anyways, he clearly knows what he's talking about, right? How could anybody that smart be that confident about it? You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, it looks short to me, and yet I know that you can't take it, right? So how can he be so sure? Somebody that smart should know that there's a really good chance that he's wrong and that that's a risky bet that he's putting on. And especially to come out and tell everybody about it is like, or you're just inviting everybody to try and push it against you.
Kevin Wimmer says, or maybe he is playing 4D underwater chess and actually went long. Easy stonks.
Well, that's
Daniel
what
K says, lol.
John said. I think though that if you got long and went on television and said that's illegal. With the way that he has done it, I think that I'm not sure that you can do that. Biden in statistical tie with Trump in Ohio. Now polling in battleground states for the presidential election. This is another thing that's been bothering me. So I really don't feel like that any of those polls would be accurate or reliable at this point. The electorate is not paying attention, and we don't know what the
Rich
turnout's
says
going
those
to be.
guys like them have ISDA and can do things which we can't see until the 13D13F filings come out. Double Line manages a lot of institutional money.
There are rules though on what you can say, right? I don't think that you can go on TV and say I'm long and then actually, or I'm short and then actually be long. I think that if you say that's a material misrepresentation of your position and is illegal.
Kevin Wimmer says, but why would it be illegal? Isn't it just lying? Saying I'm short and actually being long.
I think it's a material misrepresentation of your position, and I think that you can't get on television and say that. Because when you're on television, they have all these rules like if you own a stock, you have to say that you own the stock, right? That sort of a thing. So that's where I think they can actually go after him if he lies. I think that the SEC has rules about that. I don't know what they are. I can't point to some case where this has happened. I have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, but it seems to me that there's rules about that. Okay.
Kevin Wimmer says, or are these just courtesy rules by CNBC like tell the truth, because if you lie we won't invite you again. But this got me curious. Gonna do some Google research.
No, I'm pretty sure that it's SEC mandated that when you're on television that you have to disclose your positions. Well, that one didn't turn out the way that I thought. It just ended up ranging, so I just blew out, and it was off plan, anyways. So well, I don't know if Jeffrey Gunlock's short is going to play out, but I know that from my own perspective, I don't want to buy into stocks when they're at a historically high PE valuation.
Block buy.
So, okay. French Prime Minister says keeping the lockdown would mean facing risk of economic collapse.
Gary Rich says it's murky on the what is long and short. The SEC is a waste of human heartbeats. No enforcement, what a joke.
They can force some things. I think on something like that, if he was really long, they would.
Daniel K says all this short talk makes me want to try one. Trying here at 2,912, stop 2,914. Just a tiny one out of boredom.
Yeah, I took a tiny one out of boredom there is what happened. I'm actually seeing some price action that kind of suggests that they're going to sell it.
RJ Wheel says you go Daniel.
But the way that last one played out for me, I'm thinking that if they do decide to go short, that they're not going to do it until the open. You watch. The prediction that I'm gonna make is that when the market opens, the cumulative delta is gonna go down. There's gonna be huge cumulative delta selling.
Kevin Wimmer says I don't know if I want to be in a position close to the open.
Yeah, exactly. I think there'll be cumulative delta selling on the open, and they're gonna try and make it to the previous day's close. Like there's a fundamental reason to be short, but there's also technical reasons to be short that on a mean reversion trade.
Daniel K says good point. Open seems to make it swing a few points in both directions.
Yep.
Gonna eat my stop.
And then not only that, but when they're moving down, they're running into iceberg orders, and then their stop runs higher. Now, it's possible that we could see here in the next 15 minutes a drop. But if we see that come in, it'll be really obvious to us. So
Kevin Wimmer says I believe this won't be a range day, rather a reversal day. AKA nice prices to short after the Europeans made such a big stop, or they are gonna try to squeeze the shorts higher.
right. When we open up above the previous day's value area, then the probability is that we will move and trade back into it. And if we don't, then it tends to be a trend day. So I think you're right. I think that things are starting to make sense for a trend day. But okay, so there's still some stuff going on here though. Someone's pushing it around. I don't know. It would have to drop pretty significantly for a short to be viable, in my opinion. We'll see. Open would be a much better spot.
Daniel K says you cut off there, Seth. It would have to drop significantly for question mark.
It would have to drop significantly for it to be a viable on-plan short for me. I could potentially take one based off of my tape reading, or maybe Ace's signal, although Ace's signal is a little bit too jumbled right now too to be taking it. But if we get back to the current hours open, then that changes.
IDK says I am long ZN at 255.
Okay. They stacked a pretty decent number of bids there, by the way, between 24.5 and 25, didn't they?
Daniel K says gotcha. Gotta trade the plan. That's the only result that matters.
Yeah. Well, I took one off plan. I can't.
Vincenzo C says Seth's a low talker. C Seinfeld.
Is that what I am? I need to talk like this. I make you feel better. Mohammed El Arain, good news from Africa so far. We are COVID-19 for those of us are very worried about the human toll of outbreak there. Limited virus spread so far. Well, it's hot in Africa. A decent amount of volume has gone through at 29.11 now. So they might just go outright short of the open, but it might also end up, I guess if I'm wrong, scenario 2 would be they move up and then fail. And then that was scenario 2, and then scenario 3 would have to be the trend day up, I guess. Some lawmakers are upset over returning to Washington next week, nearly 2 weeks before DC's stay-at-home order ends. Seems to me that Congress not necessarily feeling the hate that many other people are. Well, there's 10 again. Another tick up in the treasuries. Hey, who was it that said they went long? IDK? Good job.
Gary Rich says our commie California leader just said end of May we can come out to play.
End of May? I don't know if does California really need to wait that long? I suspect that what will happen is a lot of places are going to open up pretty extensively first week of May, and then 2 weeks later, if they're not having trouble, then everybody else is going to feel real pressure to open up as well. This is one of those things where you don't want to be the one that gets left behind because you were too cautious. You know what I mean? There's going to be some financial incentive for them to open up earlier.
Gary Rich says I think we don't, but it sucks.
Okay. Well, I mean, California.
Vincenzo C.
right?
says there was a new video on you from that other guy. He seems obsessed and suspects you the Antichrist. I don't see it.
Well, somebody was talking on Discord yesterday, not about him, but just about people in general. He was like, there's so many people on YouTube that have trading channels that just, I feel like they are taking advantage of people. And they're like, you should do a video on them. And I said, no, because the way that you make things better is by making everybody around you better. My channel is only successful if you guys are successful. That's how I feel. If you guys are losing money hand over fist and then I'm successful, that makes me uncomfortable. That's not me. I think that the way that a good leader is somebody that makes everybody around them better. That's what makes them a good leader. That's what makes them valuable. And so I have no reason to go and attack anybody else. I have some people that will come and try and attack me, probably because we're doing okay on the search results right now. And I really don't care what they say. It has, because that's not what we're about. We're about making everybody around us better. And if we're constantly, in some sort of battle with somebody, then we can't do that,
RJ Wheel says that's definitely the way to go, Seth.
Thanks. I got that. When did I get that? I got that from a book about dating. I forget which one it was called, but they said there was actually research on it. Okay, so here's my spot right here. And I wish I knew where they had gotten their research from, but
Gary Rich says I am here just to find out how the rabbit is doing. How is the rabbit?
The rabbit is doing okay. In fact, the rabbit was outside. I took a picture for you. Let me see if I can find the picture. I don't know if my spot there was very good. I got the little ding sound because, oh my gosh, they could stick so many pictures with my phone. Okay. It was giving me the ding sound there because it couldn't send data to Jigsaw to Journalytics. Where's the picture? I know. Oh, it wasn't that far back, and I took it out the window. Oh my gosh! I found a picture of somebody that had a a Bloomberg sticker on their car. I had to take a picture of that one, man. Like wow, you know. Okay, I don't understand where the and now I just got pictures of a little. Oh my gosh! So I gave the kids my phone so they could record stuff, and they took all of these pictures of their littlest pet shop stuff, and then they dropped my phone and cracked the screen. Oh, I know I took it. Where is it? Oh man, I feel bad now. It didn't get deleted. The picture didn't get deleted. Now I'm gonna have to search harder. Like I took a screenshot just to prove to you. There's a tons of screenshots of the baby there. Well, oh here it is, right here. There you go. It's a poor quality picture. You probably can't see it on the camera, but that little white dot next to the rock, that's the rabbit. The rabbit was outside. Oh man. Oh, I thought I took a better picture than that, but I guess not. Maybe I can zoom it in here for you. So you can, because you're probably like, that's not a rabbit. That's not a rabbit. See? Rabbit outside. There you go. What do I got to do for you to, there you go. Rabbit. Rabbit outside. Huh? Huh? There you go. Well, we are starting to get some of that downside, but it's not really coming through quite the way that we would like.
Bot says email it to yourself so you can put it on screen for us.
That would probably be better. That would require effort, John. Well, now that we're starting to get a little bit of selling into the open, I don't know if my scenario for the open really plays out the same way. I don't know if it will really play out the same way, guys. Two minutes to the open. Mnuchin looking at providing liquidity aid to oil companies. Really? The Hill, here's when all 50 states plan to reopen after coronavirus restrictions. So I like to see that. I don't know about this. This could just be longs liquidating positions ahead of the open.
Bot says, is that really selling or just weak hands bailing out before the RTH open?
Oh, yeah. So you read my mind. How was it? Yeah. It could be. It really could be. But we do end up ending this hour negative. And if we get below 2905.75, so another 2 points down, and then we're below the previous hour as well. And then we get down to like 28.95. That's kind of the where the single prints kind of start. Okay, 30 seconds. Man, Jigsaws. Journalytics is having issues again this morning. I wonder if they're working on it. Happens from time to time. No big deal. Okay, a little bit of buying into the open now, actually. Okay. Well,
Gary Rich says, have you noticed we get above or below the 2-day in reverse? Perfect range.
I'm gonna have to say that that didn't work out. And overall, the delta is very much long. Mm, 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 mm. Kind of fighting it though.
IDK says trying to get out at 275.
The treasuries came back a bit. USD JPY falls towards 50% midpoint of the 2-month trading range. Oh, I guess I could put that there. $2,000. I don't know. That will look kind of weak from the. Come on.
Gary Rich says at bots, is it true that a well can't go below 60% utilization or it will damage the head?
Oh, yes.
Bot says never heard that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
DJ Spinglass says, hi Seth, can you say a bit about how you read Jigsaw to tell if there is buying or selling pressure? Or any other
sure.
interesting observations? Been looking at videos but not getting it yet.
So, okay, hold on a second. I am a little distracted, but I'm just trying to read it from what I'm seeing right now. I'm kind of looking for the spots at which more volume starts to trade. So do you see how there was an 897 right there at 2904.75?
IDK says out, it was a 4-tick one but didn't get filled, finally closed with 2 only.
Okay. So they're started to do a little
Bot
bit right
says
there,
but
but
might
then
be
they
a make work
flushed.
project for the guys in the field thinking face.
Right. So the question is,
Existent being says morning Seth.
hey, good morning. Oh yes, he has the nice British accent. Basically, what we're asking ourselves is, where are the big buyers and the big sellers, right? So there was some selling right there. So there was some activity right there. It looks like that the sellers aren't able to push it through their 2903 yet, but there wasn't huge numbers printed down there. But there was up at in the 06 and now even a little bit 04 area, right? So we're kind of getting a read for the areas in which the liquidity overpowers the market orders, right? See that? And then the split side is when the market orders overpower the liquidity. Okay, so now something's going on right here. That might be a sign for us to... Oh, and maybe not. Okay, so there's a battle going on here now, right? Thousands on both sides. Now, the trouble that you're going to run into is you're going to say, there's 1,000. I want to take a trade here, right? Well, all you know is there's a battle. You don't know who's going to win.
IDK says ZB looking like he wants to break the high. Should have kept that trade.
What you want to do is just note, okay, there's a battle there, and wait for somebody to lose. They push a new low, then that guy's going to lose, and it's going to puke. Okay. They got through 03 without much trouble. Yep. Come on. Okay, the ES took a new low there, and the micros did not. So here we found a bid down here. So depending on how, okay, yeah. I don't know if I necessarily want to be in like a super long-term trade here, so I don't know. We'll probably get a temporary pullback. It could still go lower. Oh, the treasury's just clicking up there, kind of make me think I should try and hold on a little bit more. Look at that. Are you going to clear 27.5 in the 10-year? It's awfully close, but somebody's iceberging there. It'll take a lot to get through 28.
IDK says closing and then see it rally pisses me off, haha.
Right. That's something that always really gets to me too. I've had bad trading days off of trades like that. Like it'll tilt me. Don't let it get to you. You got a good trade, dude. You took the exit that your strategy said that you should, then be happy with it. Okay. There's still kind of pushing down there. Okay, so they got through 27.5 in the 10-year. Okay. So there's a little bit of offer pressure here. There's 1,000 traded at 29.03, but the market orders are pushing through him. Okay. You kind of have to think of those price levels as like a spring, right? Or like a wall of muck that, like, if you don't get through it, it's going to bounce you back through. And then if you do get through it, you break, and then your momentum is just going to carry you through. Okay, so there was another. Oh, actually, they didn't take a new low. Now I'm noticing through all of this that there is actually more market buys than there are market sells throughout this whole action here. So the reason that we're down is because of people putting offers down and not necessarily because they're pushing through. So again, that tells you there's a battle going on. If they break this, like if they get back to 2,900, then we could have an ugly day. But if we don't, then we could easily be back up at the highs. And I have enough risk Well, I've been given a lot of chances to take that 30 though.
IDK says I was initially confident with longs because of the lag between the ZN and yen.
Okay. By the way, are we seeing some euro? Yeah, euro's coming back a little bit, and that's correlated with this drop in the E-mini. Okay, so there was a real reaction there, right? Now he's going to test him again. Ooh. Oh, come on. Still seeing a lot of offer pressure, but okay. It's quite a bit trading in that 2904 area.
Bot says, are you in a trade?
Yeah, I did take it when they went short on the previous hour's open. Okay. But I'm kind of more talking more because somebody said I've been watching a couple of videos, but I don't quite get it. So I'm just pointing out the significant orders that I'm seeing. So that move down to 02, not a whole lot of significant orders. So these guys here that were battling it at 04 to this guy is probably dumping. But they didn't make a new low yet. I think they probably will. Come on. There you go.
Bot says, so you're short at 2,907.75.
No, I waited until the hour opened before that. So at 0575. Oh no, actually I did take it from up there. Yeah, I did. But I took I took two and I took some profits. So my break even is really all the way back up to 2909. Well, there's
Gary
still
Rich says, Seth, have you used that platform I recommend, Koifin?
Koifin. I don't think I heard you mention that. Well, see that right there is pretty strong buying, guys. So we have to take it off. Oh boy, look at that. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Probably should have taken it off a little bit earlier. So it looks like they're making a run for the open again.
Bot says 2,901.25 is initial pivot low.
And 2912 is initial pivot high, right? Wow, IBM raises quarterly dividend to 0.6% to 1.63 or 5.1% yield. What the hell?
Bot says 2,912.25.
Yeah. So through
Gary
all of
Rich
this,
says Koifin is really good. I don't rec something unless I use it. It's an alternative to a Bloomberg terminal without the 25K price. It's free.
Does it give me comprehensive financial market data? Kind of looks like TradingView. I have to check that out after the stream. I want to watch this. So they've made it back to the open. And just to reiterate, when we're down here, like there was a flush down, right? But then after that flush, they made it all the way back. And when they came up through here, it was just like boom, 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 boom. So I had to get out. And same here. Like, look, the market buys are not giving up.
Daniel K says checking out Koifin. Thanks, Gary.
Definitely saw a setup for like a reversal day there, but the cumulative delta continuing to be long really brings that into question. Now they can move against cumulative delta, but in fact, it's very common for them to do so, but I'm a little skeptical that that's what's going to happen here. They continue to battle around this 07. It's higher now, right? Battles were at 04, now they're at 07. Technically still negative.
IDK says yeah, 5th winning trade in a row. Now I can sell Fibonacci courses and become rich.
Yay!
Daniel K says 2,909 S to R. Gary Rich says is it true that Ninja Trader you have to use their broker, not other linked brokers?
Kind of. So what happened is they used to have they were just like multi-broker. And then they started the Ninja Trader brokerage, and they've kind of slowly been pushing people into having to use their brokerage. So you can still buy the multi-broker license, but it doesn't work with, I don't think that you can use CQG data with it, for instance. So like, yeah, so it's kind of like that. So you can do it, but the way that most people are going to want to do it, probably not. So most of the new guys that are coming in, if you want to use Ninja Trader, you're probably going to end up having to use Ninja Trader brokerage. I want to short it here, but I'm not sure. But then it did give me an okay entry, so we'll just let this one play out. If we get another new low, then that's going to be pretty devastating to the longs.
IDK says Seth, I've been testing spreads with TT Auto Spreader. I understand that spreaders look for range-shaped ones, right? Daniel K says my Ninja Trader license is from 2007.
I don't know how that
Multi-broker
works.
functionality is grandfathered in. Best purchase of my life.
Yeah.
Gary Rich says, well, if can't use CQG data for NTE, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can use CQG, you just have to use NinjaTrader brokerage. No. That's better. It's still having difficulty.
IDK says, I've been buying dips and selling tops on a gold calendar spread and I have no losers yet. Justingter says, what's your opinion of their brokers? Are they good or bad?
Bots says CQG data from NinjaTrader is rebranded Continuum.
Yeah. So you still get CQG data. It's just not. You just have to use their brokerage. So that's where the issue comes down to is if you have a problem with NinjaTrader brokerage, then probably NinjaTrader is not.
Bots says it's their white label name.
Yeah. I don't understand what you were saying about spreaders look for range-shaped ones. So what do you mean by that, IDK? So that looks like a real failure. What the? That was an aggressive order.
IDK says, I mean that the differential S not so big and the chart look like a tiny range.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Bots says also Kinetic is just a rebranded name for DTN's IQ feed data for NinjaTrader.
IDK says, I will send you a photo on Discord. Daniel K says,
Okay.
oh wow. Did not know Kinetic was IQFeed. Daniel K says, I used to use IQFeed directly.
Bots says I did too but gave it up when it got over $150 a month US.
Daniel K says, geez.
Well, when we were trying IQ feed, we had issues with it because it was I didn't feel like that I was noticeably different in what the data looked like, and it was significantly more expensive, and it was causing performance issues on my computer. Oh. Oh, that's I'm not sure I've seen. Well, maybe I have because I usually don't use candles for that short of a time frame on the spread. Eddie K showing me a picture.
IDK says, I sent you the screenshot, is a gold June to August spread.
I gotcha. I understand what you're saying. Hmm. Moody's says oil prices to remain low in 2020 and likely move up only gradually in 2021 as demand recovers.
IDK says it could be automated.
Bot says it was nice to have, but I wasn't using all the historical data it had available. I guess if you wanted to do a lot of backtesting it might be necessary, but I didn't need it for day-to-day trading.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, it's bothering me that a lot of the symbols that I want to look up aren't necessarily available to me. You know, I feel like that to really get all of the data that you want, that it's like ridiculous. They might go and do this. I was sitting up there waiting for them to get back to the open and taking along, and now they're doing this again. Now maybe this one fails too. I mean, they gave me 8 and they're coming back already.
Bot says, is this working?
There you go. Hey. No. Use
Gary Rich says at Bots, is there a weight to distribution when making your own multi-screen holder or rack? I want to use 40 to 50 inch TVs.
do set accent UKM, and then it will change it, and it will always use that voice. Okay.
Bot says now I sound like a real chip eater.
Here, wait. Oh, I can change it. I can change it for you. I think. Oh, they're down at the lows. I like that.
DJ Spinglass says, can you use Interactive Broker's data feed with Jigsaw? Any comments about Interactive Broker's data feed?
Bot says set accent UKM.
No. It's yeah. You do exclamation point set accent all one word, then UKM. Okay, so they made another new low. It hasn't gotten crazy yet. I guess there's that 2900.
Daniel
the
K
key
says, I
point for
use
them.
IB data with Jigsaw.
Anyways, I'm just going to change it for you. So now if you say something, it should say it with the UKM voice. Oh, okay.
Bot says, set accent UKM.
Daniel K says it works fine. I'm trading with it now, IB data feed into NinjaTrader and Jigsaw. Works great.
Now it's worked. That's correct. Now you sound like a proper
DJ Spinglass says,
British.
thanks Daniel K.
Bot says, piss off Seth.
Bruh, well played. Well played, bots. Well played. Oh, man. It reminds me when I worked for Goldman and we were doing job training, because basically everybody that gets hired out of school, they put you through a training. And honestly, a lot of the training is kind of dumb. Like it was all stuff that I learned in
Bot
school.
says, you wanker.
You wanker. It was mostly stuff that we had already learned in our university programs, but they were kind of like, let's get everybody on the same page, and it was, you got a good idea of the culture and stuff. But everybody from around the world, all of them, were there in New York. So even the people that work in London were there. So there was the London folks, and then every day after classes, because everybody was visiting, basically, we'd go to a pub, and man, those British guys, they knew how to drink. Okay, so there was some real absorption down here in the 92 area. And they're bouncing a little bit. I don't know if okay, so what I should be doing is I should have my stop move down like significantly. Probably to 96.75. There. Oh, look, they're going to push through them anyways. Good job. Good deal. Good deal. Anyways, they knew how to drink, and they were so much fun. I love those guys. They are great.
Simon says touch your left ear.
You can't. I have headphones on. That's pretty great, dude. Who did somebody change their name?
Bot says, has anyone watched the Ricky Gervais Netflix series called Afterlife?
I watched like one episode of that.
Gary Rich says the rally is temporarily failing on YM.
They are hitting significant.
Simon says that's me, Daniel K.
I think they should be able to get through the single prints to 28.82.
Simon
75.
says touch your nose.
I can touch my nose. There. Are you happy?
RJ Wheel says it was good bots.
Was it good? I remember when it came out, and then
IDK says how can I set the accents? Haha.
You do exclamation point, set accent, all one word, and then the name of the accent. If you want the commands, type exclamation point info, and it will message what the commands are and the options.
Bot says I really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm gonna put it right.
Gary Rich says just George Costanza yourself, fade the high.
This is a pullback. They might come and get me. I don't know.
Daniel K says Seth, did you compute the VIX open targets?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Okay, the downside target is 28.79 and the upside target is 29.37. Well, that 28.79 is like it would be super easy to go tag. So they
Daniel
could even
K
get
says
to
thanks.
then the next step down is 28.50, which is basically yesterday's open. You kind of got like I kind of see a couple of dominoes here that could fall. You know what I mean?
Gary
First, we
Rich
gotta
says
make it
Seth,
through
do
the
you
single
post
prints,
those
though.
VIX targets?
I haven't been posting them anywhere. Do you want me to, Gary? I kind of thought that you would want me to like keep it a secret. Hush hush. Actually, better question, Gary. Are you using NinjaTrader and do you get VIX data? Because I wrote it in NinjaTrader, but I haven't been using it because I don't have VIX data. But because you gave me, and because you and only for you, because you gave it to me, if you're using
Daniel
NinjaTrader,
K
I give
says
you that
Gary,
code.
were you the progenitor of the VIX targets? Wasn't sure if it was you or RJ.
No, it was scary. Okay, they took me out. Well, I'm pretty happy
Gary
with
Rich
that.
says maybe for these other guys you can. No on NT.
Oh,
IDK says seems like the S wants to fill the gap.
I mean, I suppose we could
RJ
publish it
Wheels
on
says I'm
our.
VWAP targets guy.
I suppose we could start pasting it on. Sure, why not? we could start putting it on the Patreon.
Daniel K says if it was Gary, I should probably get your PayPal.
Daniel's made some money off of it. He's saying he wants to thank you, Gary. Well, the VIX is lower today. The VIX is lower today on the S. I don't know if it's spiking up. I can't see, I'm on delayed data for the VIX. So, okay, my stop there was good because I could have had it all the way up at 96.50 and they still would have taken that out. Pretty happy with it. And I'm wary about the reversal period coming up here, so I'm going to just kind of hold back a little bit. We're positive on the day. Would just sit and be happy with that. I did end up having to take more trades than I would like to get that as well.
Daniel K says RJVWAP, Gary Vix.
So if Gary's okay with that, I do think I want to put that out. I wonder if I can. I wonder if PineScript will print things. What is
RJ Wheel says shooting for VWAP worked just now.
Are we back to the? I haven't had VWAP.
Gary Rich says just trying to help. I have more of these for currencies, Euro stocks, and more just making sure of the calculations. IDK says nice volume today.
So for the treasuries, is that that's the same calculation, right? There is no way to print text or variables in PineScript to any form of a console, but you can use plot to print very short text above or below each tick. The text, however, is static, and you cannot use variables to change it. I'm okay with that. Oh, in Pine v4, there's a new way to print text. You can use labels for that. New label, print value of close. Well, we got 90 minutes. I really don't want to mess with the reversal time period, so I'm going to try and fix that. Fine editor.
Gary Rich says Seth, please post it or give it away.
You want me to give it away? Because I can just give it away. That would make it easier. We can do that. I can, how do I do it? Yes, this one. Publish script.
Gary Rich says yes.
Okay. Oh, wait, what? It says the active chart doesn't contain the study you are going to publish. Oh, you know what? I wanted to change something. Before it. And since you're okay with me giving away, I'm just going to show you the date, even though
Daniel K says, hold on. Right? What are we giving away?
And it's just, we're going to make it so that you can put it on your plot. So, suspect.
JB says good AM Seth. How is going today? I joined the room late.
Oh, we caught that short. I had to mess. Well, I'll just show you. It wasn't perfect, but it worked out in the end. This trade right here, this first one, I really shouldn't have taken. and this one was on the open. So I guess even though we could argue that one was on plan, this one they kind of weren't. This one definitely wasn't. This one kind of wasn't because it was too close to the open. This one is okay. I'm not quite sure what happened with that one, but I got out where I needed to, and that's okay. And then this one worked out, so we're really happy about it. And I might have been able to have gotten just short of 100, so I did give up quite a bit. That's one of the things that we really got to work on is like I need to figure out like what are things that if I see I really need to get out and protect what I've made. Okay, so I think that in here, this is going to show me index. Oh, actually, I already do have it. You can already change it. So I guess I can just publish it. Oh, what? It's saying that I don't actually have it on the chart, which is bullshit. Because I definitely do. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Publish. Update existing script. No, I'm going to publish a new one. Should we call it a breadth indicator? I don't know if that really makes sense. We could call it a volatility. Let's call it a volatility indicator. Okay. Vix. We'll take it with Vix. Oh.
Bot says Vix projected range.
Yeah, that's what we should call it. Vix projected range. Or no, we shouldn't even call it Vix. We should call it volatility projected range. There you go. And we'll make a video about it or something. But for now, should be able to get it from there.
Speculator Seth Day Trading says.
So there you go. Okay, it's giving me short again. Oh no! We're coming up into the reversal time period. I said I'm not going to trade it. No, did I close that tab? Whoops. No, I see, because I had pulled it out into a separate. It's actually this right here.
Gary Rich says, Seth, if you want to market or sell, please do. If it helps others, that's all that matters.
We can, I don't know what we'll do. I mean, we could use it to promote the channel. So I think maybe
Daniel
we will
K
do that.
says, thanks at Gary Rich and at Speculator Seth Day Trading.
Yeah.
Bot says it's the counter trend period, not the reversal period.
Not the reversal period. You're right. But it's let's call it the Seth tends to suck at trading during this
would
period.
help if I hit play. No wonder my sound was not working.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, JB. I'm just trying to think of what the best way to do it would be. Like, I could just make a video about it, but I think though that if I'm going to do that, want to do a little bit more research on it. Because one of the issues that I have right now is I have a lot of statistical tools that I've built into NinjaTrader, but I don't have them in Script. And so, because I want to be able to tell people, okay, like this line gets hit 80% of the time. I'm pretty sure that that first line really is like 80%, but I don't. I would have to probably build a little bit of a framework. Probably would only take me a day, but I need to build a little bit of a framework to actually calculate that probability.
Existent Being says thanks for sharing that indicator, I'll definitely check it out. Anyway, I have to run some errands now. Have a nice day all.
Yeah, no problem. I should. Oh, you know what? There we go. Wait, will it let me put my? Wait, that's not. Wait a second. Save. It doesn't. Maybe it won't let me. I don't think it will let me put a link in there. So. There we go. There we go. We could just link it on the like one of the subreddits. That'd probably be the most effective way to do it. Let's try it. Let's see what they do. You said to put it out there, so now we're gonna make sure everybody gets it. All right. Day trading, is it right? Yes. Post. Okay. So they're kind of trying to sell here again. They're really trying to sell it here. I really want to go short, but I should wait, right? Okay. Put it here in the lobby. Oh, there they are down at the bottom. You could probably just put a market sell right there, man.
JB says dumb question, what is the difference between Discord and this stream in YouTube?
I'm not quite sure what you mean. I mean, there are slightly different people. There's definitely a lot of people in Discord that aren't in the YouTube every day. The big thing about the Discord is it's there all the time, and we can host files and stuff there, so that really makes it useful. Also, though, like the Discord kind of came first, so it is technically its own separate thing, but I guess in the end it's kind of become more about the stream. But I don't know. It's kind of funny because
Bot
this.
says consumer confidence number was abysmal.
Ooh. Oh yes, 86.9. That was when things took a dive too. I didn't realize that that's what was moving us. Well, so
Bot says 86.9, previous 118.8.
I'm still seeing 28.80.75 down on the
Daniel
downside.
K says I'm going long here. 2 Ferraris, 1 BMW and a summer cottage.
Oh, really? Wait, what was our estimated? 79. Well,
Daniel K says still short from 2,912. Just mean that it's going well, so I will be shopping for new cars. Bad
Oh,
joke.
I got it. Oh, you're going long 2 Ferraris and a BMW. I gotcha. I really want to short it here, but so badly. But I don't think that. I mean, it's okay for me to take it short anywhere at this point, but I don't know if this exact spot is like the risk reward area that I really want. See, that is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. No, I don't want to see notifications. And I still want to wait 5 minutes here, so. Okay. So we are still seeing a bit of a pullback here. French football season canceled with no games until at least September.
Daniel K says NFL?
No, they're talking about soccer.
JB says, was that baseball you just said?
No. No, they're talking about
JB
the
says,
French
oh.
Football League.
Daniel K says, where are you getting the news bits, Seth?
That was from Trading Floor Audio tweets. Over to you, Premier League. French football season canceled with no games until at least September. The 2019 to 2020 season in Ligue 1 and 2 will therefore end immediately. So not only will everybody in France be stuck at home, but they won't have any football to watch while they're at it. I got to tell you, I've been watching the Africa's StarCraft League, and that is what has been keeping me going in the evening because I get home so much earlier from working out in the garage. And now that I've done that, I'm not quite sure what to do. Well, I have some books to
Gary
read, I
Rich
guess.
says we need to open this stuff up. I need my F1, Indy and NASCAR racing. Daniel K says, welcome to the Seth Squawk Box newsfeed.
Yeah. Well, I try and read the squawks that come through on TweetDeck, but I don't know. Lately, we haven't been getting very significant news through that, or it's late on Twitter. You know what I mean? I need a better feed. They're testing the low, but they're not going for it yet. Okay, 30 seconds.
Daniel K says, great Alpha Star documentary you would like, Seth. If you haven't seen it yet. AlphaGo plays StarCraft.
Okay, that's on YouTube, and it's about StarCraft. Okay. Nope. Wrong. Okay. I'm probably being too cautious here, but I did not like the way that played out. Because there was a strong push down. They came back to it. Then there was another strong push down, and they didn't get as far. So Seems to me that the sellers are still out there, but that for the time being, they're not getting what they want. It's remaining constrained. And we did kind of a little bit. Well, it's okay to take a short here, but I need to be. I probably should be looking for some signs that there's about to be price discovery, and I'm not necessarily seeing those yet. Well, they're pushing. Hmm. Still kind of defending it. I don't know. Could they? Could they like really break? That might be fun. Mhm. Not yet. One of the problems that I see here is that you're gonna get 28, 80, 75 right here. Single Brents. And so you get a rush down, they're gonna push down to there, and then you're gonna find support again. Okay, well they're pushing it now. A little bit of profit taking right there. Hmm. It's a lot to be trading at basically the low after a break of the lows, you know? Like if it's gonna break like that, you want to see it go. Go. And in fact, the cumulative delta is still they're still kind of buying it. Okay. Well, they're holding that previous low pretty well so far. Oh, nope, they broke back through it. I was gonna say that 28, 83, 25, they're kind of they're not able to get above it, but then there they breached it just now. Like if I had held that short, I wouldn't be being paid a whole lot for it. And frankly, we might get a long here. We could maybe get a long here. Well, there's Ace's thing triggering long. Where are the treasuries? Now, treasuries are still at their highs. I really want to make another trade for some reason, but I don't think it's going to happen. Well, you did hit $50 is like, that's what we got, right? I got to be happy with that. Too many trades to take it, though. When I look at this, though, I kind of wonder, am I reaching? You know what I mean? And watch, I put that volatility thing up on Trading View, and I posted it on Reddit. I'm a bet that nobody on Reddit cares and looks at. And it'll be like, hey, that's like one of the best edges I've found, and put it out there for free. Not that I found, but that I've been shown. And put it out there, and nobody cares. That's what's going to happen. That would be the only that would be the only thing that would be typical. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh! So on Reddit, there was this picture. Here, I'll show you. There's these ducks playing in the water. Isn't that the most adorable thing you've ever seen? Not that you've ever seen, but it's pretty cute. And I'm like, well, what did he say? This is the most beautiful thing I've seen today. And I said, like, do you live in heaven? Because this looks like the sort of thing that you would see in heaven. And he said, is heaven full of duck poop? Oh, that's a freaking great response. That's a freaking great response, dude. Oh my gosh. That's so perfect. Oh, Alpha Star is an algorithm that plays StarCraft. Okay. NASDAQ index has given up gains and trades down on the day, tweets Forex Live. I mean, we did move down, but we're still higher than we were yesterday. So, like, is it really a big deal? I don't know. Right now, they're kind of giving me that look like we're going to go down all day, but we're going to make it as hard as possible for you to find a good spot to take it short. That's what it looks like to me right now. Like, as it edges closer to that 82, I'm like, oh, I want to sell it. I want to sell it. Let's sell it. Maybe. No. Oh, maybe. What's it doing? They're gonna trade back out here. Okay, down. Oh, not quite. See, he goes down. He goes down. He's like, I'm gonna do it. Oh, just kidding. There you went. Okay, so now we're through the single prints.
Justinger says, do you go for scalps? Or do you take longer plays?
Well, I try and hold it as long as I can.
RJ Wheel says, get through 81 to 77 area. I have 63 as target on S.
With the way that we've been trading this, though, the past 2 weeks, we really haven't been catching more than 30 minutes worth. So what's next?
Daniel K says one off here at 2,879.50. 3 more riding for Gary's second target.
Yeah, so where were we again? I said 79, right? Yes. So we reached one target. The second target is 51 or so. And often if they get 51, there's a bit of chaos. But there's also often pullbacks around this area. So I don't know if I can just like sell into this, as tempting as it looks, and it just keeps going. I think though yesterday's close. Wait, what was yesterday's close?
Daniel K says you trade the big on RJ? The mini?
28.67. That's what they look like they're headed for. Look at them go. My oh my. I feel left out. You just want to jump on that. That's a good 4 points down. My. Yeah, this is starting to get oh, I don't know. So the volume is now definitely short. This is definitely some strong trend, but I don't want to say that it's like the world is falling apart trend. Not yet. Okay. They are trading through some of these prices pretty easily. Gee. That dog. Stop it. Already let you out to pee. You're just fine. Yeah, so they're giving me that. Hey, Seth, you want to sell it now? $3,000? Buy what? Wow. This is pretty extreme. That is pretty extreme. Normally, this stacking and pulling column is like 1,400, and now all of a sudden, it's like 4,000. Like what? I am not so sure what that's about. What am I seeing over here? Hmm. Not seeing a huge increase in big orders. They are there. Okay. It does that almost every day now. And it's not like the data stops or anything. It just resets. I wonder if it has something to do with my account date, my session setup in Jigsaw or something. I don't know. Not quite right.
Daniel K says buying 3 here. I am flat now. Daniel K says best day of the month. Shutting down charts so I don't give it back.
Good job. Hey, Daniel. Rules of acquisition number 1. Once you have their money, never give it back. They coming back, though. Look at that. Look at that. They're buying that shit. I don't know what that 4K was about, but you do not fight that. That is like I don't know what's going on. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like that was heavy buying pressure.
Daniel K says haha awesome. Where is that line from?
It's from Deep Space Nine, Star Trek. You know, the Ferengis, they have the rules of acquisition. Rules of acquisition number 1 is once you have their money, never give it back. It's rule number 1. No joke. I need to get that. Is there like that's what I need. So I need like stuff behind me, you know? Like I want to get like a shelf and put stuff on the thing behind me. We can put this lovely mug up there. And then we can get the Ferengi rules of acquisition. Is there a book for it? Let's check it out. Amazon.com. Ferengi rules of acquisition. Oh, yes. It is. There's a book. I'm not too impressed with the way that the book looks. There's a paperback. What? There's a paperback version of it. An unauthorized Star Trek satire. The complete Ferengi rules of acquisition, aphorisms, guidelines, and principles to life in Ferengi culture. What? Out of stock, out of print. But the ones up at the top were you can buy it on paper. No, I can't get a hardback. I want a hardback. Come on. Kindle. $94 paperback? What? Yeah, maybe we can find. There's got to be a better place to buy it. The rules are merely guidelines. Forgot about that part. Oh, man. You can get it as a pocketbook. Oh, is this what this is? Is it's a pocketbook? It is. It's tiny. It's 6 inches high. It's like this. It's like this big. I guess I want that. That's why it's only available in paperback. Why not? Well, they come back. Now they're looking to come back down again, maybe? Huh. This is getting some sketch order flow here, but all of the big orders have disappeared. Oh my, oh my. I'm so tempted to sell that. I don't think I will. That's suspicious. Suspicious. Flat now. Best day of the month, really. I love the Ferengi. I didn't know that rule. Oh, okay. Look, now they win. Wow. I have to say, the way that this day turned out is really quite surprising. I could have pushed it so much harder, but I'm not feeling good about the spots. Oh man, that right there. 64. That is such strong offer pressure too. And we wait for me to buy it and maybe they'll turn. Yeah. Of course. Of course. My. Okay, cool. I should have canceled that and threw it back out, but the way that they came back there and the book changing out says to me that we're still in too volatile of an area. So yeah, there you go. What did I say was the downside? 50. So they're still about 10 points away. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't necessarily think that it was going to bounce right there, but I did kind of see stuff going on here, and I was like, something's going to happen. And they kicked back up. So, anyways, I think it's interesting the way that things turned out, because remember, we started the day out saying, well, I think it's too high, but at the moment, there's no way that you can sell it.
RJ Wheel says target acquired.
And
Daniel
then
K says nice RJ.
I
Daniel
still
K
took it
says I
short.
love the Ferengi. Didn't know that rule.
Oh, there's still so it's catching up. That's what's happening. Let me close that. Anyways, we came in and I said I feel like it's too high, and maybe they could make a move back towards yesterday's open. But the way that I see it right now, I really don't see how you sell this. And then as soon as it went negative on the hour, we started taking them, and it turned out really well. And I was overly cautious. I really could have just held the original short. Frankly, what would we have gotten if we had done that? The woulda, coulda, shoulda. Okay. So we took it from 2904. So let's say 50 points. Right? So every 20 points is, so it could have made 250 on that one. But of course, I'm okay with where I got out. The places that I got out were acceptable, were where we were supposed to be stopped out at. We would have gotten stopped out in some. Now some of these maybe we could have held, but okay, now they're starting to get a little gray. That is like that. I don't want to chase it. Nope. Damn it. Hmm. There you go. Okay. Significant numbers trading at 2856. Well, I guess not. What am I? Oh, okay, so hold on. No, I think I'm okay. Not okay on the trade, but I think that it was okay to take that. sucks. Well, I gave it back. What did that end up? I shouldn't have taken it like that. Oh, I'm actually still profitable. We're cool. Oh, maybe it's even. I think there's more in this, but this is like difficult action. I think they need to pull back a little bit first before we try and take it again. I think what's happening to me now is that the volatility has become so high that I can't really. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. There's some strong sub pressure came in there. And then it just let off like just as quickly. Damn. And that will move up.
Block buy.
I think they pull what? What the fuck? Did I really just see what I thought I saw? What the hell just happened in the treasury? Oops. Oops. Okay. Treasuries just got creamed there, man. Well, there was a buy. There was a buy. What? 7,000 at 139? What the fetch? That was wowee. Did you see that? I have never seen. Whoa. What the heck was that? You've got that deer in the headlights look this morning? Yeah, probably. I kind of made some mistakes, didn't I? But, what was that in the treasuries? What the heck? They potted up 3 ticks and then it came back. I'm just frustrated. Yeah, where one is sell it. Where is a good place to sell it when it's already well past your entry area? Is kind of the issue. And at the moment, strong buying. That was the largest single, I think that was the largest single volume event I've ever seen in the 10-year treasury. No? I think we gotta stay in here. Okay, now maybe I'm seeing it. Oh, the day is at 28:68. Okay. No, that's not what we wanted. Hmm. Like trying to take it with the momentum has not worked at all. It would have worked if we had taken it through any of that stuff, but then when we start taking it, it doesn't work. And that right there is, yeah, that one just blew it now. Let's just let it play through a little bit. So at this point, I don't know if, well, we'd still have a long ways to go before we'd be positive on the hour. No, let's just see, because I think that they're gonna make that next step lower at some point. We just gotta find a better spot. Treasury's down. Stopped the big guy out, and then that was the end of it. That had to have been a stop. That had to have been a stop, right? Because that was crazy. Well, hmm. Okay. Oh, they're going for the range stop. Okay. Man, it's hard. It's hard to get to figure out where to take the profits at. They come back to that. I don't know if I want to take it. So stop at break even is a statistical suckers bet. I guess it depends on how far in your favor it went. I have looked at the website. Do you think it is enough the beginner and intermediate courses, or are the webinar necessary? You only get the beginner's course. I would only take the webinar if you've taken the beginner's course, you've been looking at it for a while, and you're still having a hard time getting it. Yep. Well, I did take some profit, right? Love the content, by the way. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm like hyper focused here. I haven't really been looking at the chat. Not necessarily a good thing. Oh, okay, come on. It's like it knows where my mouse is. That's funny. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. LI's lock into blank. I did. No, I did. Right. I had my stop up there that where no matter what we were gonna. Okay, so that was an outside bar. I really should have taken both of them off when it was down there, huh? Well, they're gonna mess around with this daily open a bunch, aren't they? 2680, 2868. What do you enjoy more, trading or targeting content? Trading. I don't know if I say I enjoy it, but I care more about trading. Yeah, that strong bid is still there. About intermediate, I recommend beginner and then upgrading, and don't buy the live license till you need it. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, no. So we're talking about no BS day trading, right? I've looked at the website. Do you find staring at Treasury's order flow helpful when you're trying to trade the ES/MES? I think today it was actually. I think. Um. Yeah, he was talking about no BS day trading. Yeah, so they have like the beginner course, and that's the book that really tells you the stuff that you really want to know. And the thing is don't look at it as like a signal, like a trading strategy. Just look at it as like this is an explanation of the game, and then you're gonna want to try and find your own trades once you understand what's going on. I bought the beginner no BS and intermediate jigsaw. Oh, okay. See, they're pushing up here. I never move stops or move to break even. The original stop works out better profit wise more often than not. Um, I think that just straight up moving it is, I don't know. It depends on the trade. Like if it's a trade that's designed to catch a runner, then moving it up like that is good. If it's a range bound trade, that might be different. Okay. I don't know. Am I a swing trade 1 to 3 hour average trade length? What is that called? Because I sometimes thought swing traders were 2 to 3 days, and I would call it swing trading. But you're right. Swing traders can trade for multiple days. I'd still consider it day trading. Okay. A strong little break there. Is there giving it up? into a higher high. It's kind of turning back into, I mean, we got 3 minutes, but it's kind of turning back into a can't sell it anymore. Works out better profit-wise for the exact same reasons. You don't know if a trade is going to be a runner or not. Well, the issue there you get is like, if you move your stop, then the probability of your stop being hit is now higher. So, that's where it's like, if we moved like 16 ticks and then you moved your stop to break even, I think that's prudent, because if it comes back that much, then something's wrong. Depends on how long you want to hold it, but with the amount that I want to hold it, if it comes back like that, I would say something is wrong, right? You miss your exit, probably. But on the same hand, if you're like what Daniel is doing, if you catch a spot and then you take a little bit of profits along the way, and then you can actually move your stop down, and it gives you even more room to stay in the trade. I'm kind of wondering if they can really sustain this right here. I guess they could at the 20 minutes. And I guess the pressure is up. Well, I think there's another one in it for me, but I'm going to stop. I shouldn't have doubled up on those ones, but overall we turned out okay. And I am happy with that sell. The way that we played the sells was really great, but I am starting to get off plan a little bit again, aren't I? Like, really, those three are the only ones that can really count. Well, some of these ones could be sells too, but I think I was trading off of order flow again for whatever reason, or saying, well, it's down, it's okay for me to sell anywhere. I don't know. I think that my entry condition is maybe a little too broad right now. So what should we call today's stream? Well, haven't been given these very good titles lately. We haven't had anything fun in the title, but equities open higher, but give back gains. Could go back to your entry multiple times before reaching your profit target, though. Yeah, but what are the chances of it doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like if I go in and I say 8 tick stop, 16 tick, well, maybe, and I don't have a target. I'm just going to let it run as far as it can go, okay? But let's say that it makes it 16 ticks, okay? So now at that point, what are the chances that it comes back 16 ticks and then the 8 ticks? For the amount of risk that you're taking, that's really low. So it's like, I don't know, statistically speaking, the chances of it coming back to your target, I guess what I'm saying is there's a certain point at which your target your stop becomes so unlikely to be hit that if it does get hit, you really want to take it because something's clearly wrong. Okay. So we've started the hour. It's a buy so far. I'm not gonna. You know what? Maybe if we get back below the day, like right here, then we'll see. But I gotta get going. So could be better. Think overall on the trades that I'm supposed to be taking, we're still doing good. But I need to work a little bit on where it is and isn't okay to take it. And managing the thing is like I definitely think that how I manage the stop and how I manage the profit could be so much better. But I don't know where to do it, you know? Anyways, I should get going. I will see you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay profitable.